I'm Nathan. I am an engineer here at Augment. I've been the tech lead for the CLI team.
My name's Liam. I've been at Augment for almost 2 years now. One of the first front-end engineers hired, and I currently work on the growth team.
I'm Ben. I'm a solutions architect at Augment Code, and I help in the process of customers evaluating the use of Augment Code, specifically around the technical capabilities and how to get it working in different scenarios. That's what I focus on.
My name's Andre. I'm a solutions architect here at Augment, which is really a fancy name of saying I was an engineer, and after 25 years, I kind of got bored and I like to work with customers.
My name is Sharath, and I work as a solutions architect here at Augment. I have recently joined, but really excited by seeing all the different features and how quickly this industry is changing.
What problem does the CLI solve for devs? Well, there is the problem that all of our AI tools solve for devs, right? Of helping you get your work done faster and better by having an agent that has context on everything. But CLI in particular, I think one of the values that it provides, or I should say the two values that it provides, is on the one hand, it's a nice, simple, streamlined, there's not a lot of bloat. It just gets you and the agent together to get stuff done. And the other thing is, you can't automate an IDE extension, right? So the CLI gives you tools to help you automate stuff faster, whether that's, these common workflows like PR reviews and stuff like that you're doing a lot of, or if that's something like, I need to go summarize 100 things, I can just write a quick script, get Augie CLI to do it all for me, right? So these types of batch things like that, maybe aren't long-term automation, but I can write a quick script and get that all done for me by Augie. That's perfect.
So the CLI solves, I really think of it as a couple of different kinds of problems. One is for engineers that don't always work in their IDE, or maybe it's an IDE outside of JetBrains or VS Code or NeoVim. The CLI agent provides another interface to interact with the Augment agents. And in the interactive mode, you get a very similar experience, getting to ask questions of the agent, ask for help developing code. And so in that regard, it really is an alternative to that IDE experience. Another aspect of what the CLI solves for, though, is this automation type of use case. And in that regard, we're really thinking about going beyond the inner loop of code development, but also looking at the outer loop. So maybe you submit a PR and you need it to be reviewed. You can build automation with Augie to go and actually perform that first pass review of that ticket. Similar types of use cases in a planning phase, where maybe you ask the agent to pick up a document and build a first pass at a proof of concept, for example, before going and actually starting to build the code yourself. And so we're really seeing the CLI agent being helping to develop that full story, that full life cycle of software development, and automating more and more of it so that developers can focus on the harder problems at hand.
Yeah, so in a lot of different customer interactions that I've had, I think one of the key aspects around how CLI is being used, and I anticipate other customers using, is where you can use CLI as a new interface to the rich Augment context engine and use it within your terminals. So I've seen some customers using it with non-supported IDEs. I've seen some customers actually using it as a AI assistant that they can actually refer to within their terminal. And then it also starts getting into automation kind of plays where you can start automating different parts of your SDLC cycle. So be it kind of things around the actual planning and development, or taking it forward towards deployment, testing, and maybe even kind of issue triaging. I think that's where I think CLI gives a lot more flexibility in how you can use Augment than just limiting yourself to the IDE.
I think it's actually a huge thing because as engineers, we're all accustomed to automating as much as we can. Everybody writes scripts. If you have to do something more than once, you probably just write a script to do it. And the problem with scripting is that it's very discrete. It can only do complete deterministic things, and there's no room for creativity. Right? If you're trying to parse a string, it's very, this is A or B or C, right? There's no room for, unexpected inputs. And so what the CLI brings is the ability to now add AI and large language model reasoning into your scripts. And now your scripts can do, thinking, reasoning that normally you would have to stop and get a human to do. So to me, that just opens up so many things you can do.
What I'm most excited about with the CLI is that I see a progression for most developers using AI tools where they're a little skeptical at first and they really want to monitor and watch what it's doing, have a lot of control over it directly in the editor where it's editing files. And that builds up confidence and trust in how it works because it's a new kind of tool. It doesn't solve all your problems like magically. You actually have to know how to prompt it in a way that solves the problem that you're working on. And so when you get more comfortable with that, then you realize, oh, I could give it a quick prompt, solve this problem. I could get an issue out of Sentry or something and have it just fix it. I don't even need to fire up an IDE. And what if I even put this in a CI pipeline and just ran it on a regular basis to do migrations or upgrade dependencies or, solve bugs that get detected by like an error monitoring service. I see it as more about the automation and gives me more flexibility to access Augment all the ways that I want to.